Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. This is Mike Brenner. This is the NBA Odds Couple show for May 27th, Game 6 of Cleveland-Toronto. This is going to be a funny show.
We're already going into June. This year is flying. Sorry about that.
Mike
that just
Brenner,
blew my mind. Yeah.
Game 6.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been so much drama here, and it turns out, in retrospect, the way to just handicap this series is take Toronto at home, take Cleveland on the road. We did that. We took Cleveland every game, so we looked like geniuses when they were at home. We looked like morons when they were on the road.
And you know what I did? I was on the road yesterday. I had left early. I had some things to take care of. So I decided I'm not even going to check the posts before I come on the air today, because usually I do, and I didn't. So I don't know how Toronto Nation responded to yesterday's. I don't know. I didn't even ask.
How they respond to the OKC game or to the
whatever game we were? I was hammering the Toronto Nation yesterday.
Yeah. No, I mean on the Game 5 where you nailed it. Yeah. All the haters were crickets.
Quiet.
They disappeared.
Quiet. Crickets. I like that.
And all your supporters we love the supporters. There were like 30 of them. They were all like, "Great bounce back, Mike Brenner."
Wow,
they were
fantastic.
Like,
Juan
awesome.
White, Brian Kim, Daily Scratcher. I'm not kidding you. Glenn Middleton, Ahmed Raymond, Jay Serrano, Judge Joey Hornick, Tommy T from the NC. This is my buddy up in North Carolina. I'm not kidding you. Hey, NFL contact. You wait for the information this guy's got. I'm not kidding you. Tommy T, we're coming to see you, baby.
Okay,
all right.
We will see how you handle.
Speaking of which, how's the vision doing? I got to get into this real quick. How's the eyes doing, Pistol Pete?
I don't even know.
Because, buddy, you're looking like you might need to shave or a haircut. Because guess what? I came across a video of Pistol Pete, Flashback Friday, right? I came across a picture of you, buddy. I'm not kidding you. It stopped me in my tracks. And I'll just leave it at that. Hopefully the viewers will find a way to catch a shot of that picture. But
no, I know how to look cool. I might not be the greatest handicapper in the world, but I know how to look cool.
You know you got that look, and I could have seen you back in the days doing the John Travolta, baby. Staying alive, I'm not kidding you.
It's not just the look; it's also the body language. I mean, my body language is really cool too. I know how to look cool.
It's like that tranquilo papi, as they say here in Costa Rica.
Look at my body language.
All right, well, enough of tranquilo papi. Look at that body language.
All right, let's get into Game 6.
Oh, let's get into it. This one can't start fast enough.
Mike Brenner, listen. Our assumptions that Toronto is complete ass have been justified on the road. At home, completely different story.
Wow.
And the big question is, does it continue here? And it's not just in the playoffs this happened. In the regular season, Toronto won at home, right?
Of course.
So I think Toronto's beaten them all 4 games. The line here, we have 6 or 6.5. It's a split line. First half is +3. Chris is hanging 3.5. And I'll tell you what, Mike Brenner, I'm going to break from tradition here. I am going to give a pick on this game. I will give.
Wait a minute before we get any further. Great pick last night in last night's game.
Thank you very much.
Second quarter, 56 as a total. Pistol Pete nailed it. It flew over. No, for real. Props off, because that was the only pick we had in our video. And guess what? It cashed.
Well,
Great job.
I'm giving a pick here. We'll get to your rant in a second. My official pick for this game is going to be.
Here we go.
On Toronto, +6.5.
Holy
I'm going to bet that the basic trend holds. Maybe Cleveland. Does Cleveland close it out in 6? Maybe. My sense is, though, look, the NBA would love to have 7. Cleveland, in the back of their minds, wants to win it in 7. Toronto's going to fight tooth and nail to not get closed out here on their home court. Maybe Cleveland does close it out, but do they cover 6 or 6.5 at a 50% rate? I don't think so. I'm taking Toronto +6.5. That's my official pick. That's my analysis. Mike Brenner, what are you going to do with this game?
Wow, buddy, you just broke that one down as far as confidently as I've seen you break a game down.
I mean, it's not really going out on a ledge. It's just saying that all the ways that the series is going to continue.
Absolutely. And anybody that looks into this, it's obvious. All right, here's my question. All right, the 3 wins that Cleveland had at home, all right, well, they weren't even wins. They were demolishes is what they were. 88 total points. All right, that team was never in it. And they were never even close to being in the game from start to finish. Not one time. All right, Cleveland, when they go to Toronto, even during the regular season, okay, they were in those games. There was one in this series that Cleveland was kind of out of it, and I think mentally they just checked out and said, wait till they get home, all right? And they whooped that ass when they got home. Anyway, here's my thinking. Toronto, and they know, and anybody that wants to refute this, I will just say, I'll call bullshit on it right on the air. All right, Toronto knows there's no way in hell with this crew and this coach that they can get 1 win or even get close to being under 20 points, okay, in Cleveland. They know that. They don't even have to waste time getting on a plane. So with that being said, yes, they have this edge at home. Don't you think they're a young team? Here's my thinking, Pistol Pete. They might think, you know what? All right, we could win tonight. We got this advantage at home. They may rest on that that laurel that, yeah, we got this team's number at home. But I think they're looking ahead going, but fuck, we can't win in Cleveland. There's just no way. So maybe they check out mentally here. That's a very good opportunity. I'm going against everybody and their mother with what they're thinking, okay? Here's my thinking, okay? This team has got to say, this is our...
Cleveland?
This is our game 7, all right? This is our game 7, all right? Kevin Love looked dynamic, all right, last time out. This team looked focused. They're a veteran team. There's nobody out there that can tell me that LeBron hasn't gathered this crew and said, look, we have got to strike while it's hot. We want to get the extra day's rest. Let that dogfight take place in the West, all right? That's going to be a bloodbath till game 7. Let that happen, all right? We know we can beat this team. Let's beat them tonight right in their own backyard. Get a couple days rest because guess what? We're going to need to win one on the road in the next series if we want the title, so we better do it tonight. By God, I'm telling you, this team's focused. This is their game 7. I love it on the first half, Pistol Pete. I'm taking Cleveland -3 on the half, and guess what? I'm jumping on the third quarter -1.5. I'm not touching the game, but I am all over the half, and I'm all over the third quarter.
You might have something there. We might both cash.
Woo!
We might both cash.
We can both cash. And I'm just telling you, though, mentally, this is where trends, unless the NBA is so fixed, all right,
which
it could be. The only reason I think this play doesn't play out tonight, it's not going to be because Toronto's a great team, because they're not, all right? That's
wait a minute. Okay.
They're not a great team, Pete.
The first 2 games of this series, that wasn't because the NBA fixed it for them to be better than they were. They legitimately beat the Cavs repeatedly, quarter by quarter. They beat them.
Come on, you got to know this, and you said this in a video. The odds makers, what were the odds? You got 4 teams in the Final Four. They should be tight odds for every one of them to win it. Sure. It was tight, and then what was it, 40-1?
Yeah,
so everybody knows this team isn't built to win. They're not there yet. Great wins at home, yes, great wins at home against Cleveland, but they're not a great team, all right?
Sure.
All right, so here's what I think. I think this team just literally maybe mentally checks out, and I think Cleveland quietly comes out very fast. And I think Toronto may be forcing and pushing because the energy in that place is going to be off the charts as well tonight. But I think the weapon that Cleveland needs is, here we go. Let's shut the audience down. Let's quiet this place. Let's get the lead early, and we're going to win this game, and we're going to go on to the finals, and we're going to rest and watch that dogfight, that bloodbath over there in the Western Conference. That's my thinking, Pistol Pete.
Sure, I mean,
I'm pulling the trigger. First half -3, third quarter -1.5.
Fair enough. I mean, the first 2 games in the playoffs in this series, Toronto covered the first half easily. Both times. They won the first half outright in both of those games.
Absolutely. And again, here's another thing I think has got to be in the heads of this young team. And again, I just go off on Toronto. It's nothing personal. It isn't. But I'm not sold on Dwayne Casey, and everybody knows that. All right. They were down by 13 in the first quarter last game. Okay. They were down by 18 at halftime, and they lost the game by what, 35, 40? I don't know what it was.
Sure.
Right?
No,
they were nowhere even close last time out. It was an embarrassment what happened. Even you should see Lowry's face when he looked at the stat sheet. I'm not kidding. I saw a picture of it. These guys were embarrassed. All right. How do you bounce back from that, Pistol Pete, against a veteran team that's absolutely firing on all cylinders?
Yes, you make great points. My only reservation is that you made great points betting against Toronto earlier in the playoffs,
of course.
and we were wrong.
Of course, and that could happen today. This damn thing might go south, but you know what? Right. I feel it's going north. I feel this is quietly going to cash. Cleveland wraps it up tonight in Toronto because guess what? There's one big challenge for Cleveland right now, and here it is. This just came to me. All right, they know they're monsters at home, but you don't think they're not thinking, hey, we better get this win on the road. We need this for the edge in the next series.
Sure.
I love it. I'm telling you, Cleveland, I love it. First half -3, third quarter -1.5, and can't wait for this one to tip off, baby.
It'll be interesting to see by tip-off where the public has actually bet, because I'm assuming the public will be leaning on Cleveland here, but considering, that they've already seen, Toronto win at home repeatedly and they're getting 6 points, maybe the public will come in on Toronto. Maybe the action will be split. My guess is probably it'll be split.
Yeah. And one of our associates, Double J, Jamie James, my buddy from Ireland there, he has some really good information that comes from Bet365, and he has been just spot on. So I'm going to get an update from him later on to see which way.
And you'll tweet it out?
Absolutely, I'm going to tweet it out. I sure will. I sure will, buddy. But I'm feeling good, Pistol Pete. And you got one play?
Yep, we got it. Mike Brenner on Cleveland first half, Cleveland third quarter. I'm on Toronto.
Before we close, I got to ask you, you're the total specialist. How come not a total in a quarter here, Pistol Pete?
I looked at the totals very carefally.
There's something scaring you off of that ledge. What is it?
The totals in this series have been dead on.
Okay.
I mean, for Cleveland in general, their totals are in the upper 190s, and most of their games go to the upper 190s. So I don't see a big, edge one way or the other. I would definitely be leaning under in the first half at 101. The first two games in
like
Toronto,
that too.
though, went over, and we know what Cleveland can do. Toronto, DeRozan and Lowry can get hot. So I'm not sure if I'm going to bet that. That would be my lean if I had to have a lean on the total. Be the first half under 101. But I think the totals are pretty dead on in general, as they have been all playoffs long for the Cavs.
Yeah. And there's one other thing. There's a guy, OG Johnson. I respect him. He's a commenter, on our videos and everything. But he absolutely swore that Toronto would win this damn thing, and it was going all the way. But OG, I don't think that's happening, my man. So.
All right, we'll see how it turns out. Mike Brenner on the third quarter and the first half. Cleveland. I'm on Toronto plus 6.5. Mike Brenner, great show.
Let's get it done,
We'll be
baby.
back for the next show.
Yes, we will. Go Cavaliers.